A group of business owners and workers say de-escalation training from Seattle police isn't cutting it.
Some businesses in the Little Saigon neighborhood requested it because they say they've been forced to deal with the homeless campers. Here's KOMO's Suzanne Fawn.
I recognize some of the guys here that are in the tents, and they know that I recorded them.
Nia Boy has had serious problems with homeless campers from the growing encampment on South Weller Street. He's the co-owner of Hello M Viet Roastery, and last Friday he witnessed this after closing time.
One guy had a knife, the other guy had a gun, so I recorded a little bit, and I kind of ran back inside because I didn't want to get caught in the middle.
Boy is afraid that something really bad will happen before the city takes action. Across the street, Curtis Marr, the owner of Seymour Automotive, says he was just threatened yesterday by a homeless man camping at his business.
We get harassed every day. It's an everyday occurrence.
And that's why businesses have asked for safety and de-escalation training from Seattle PD. Businesses who took part in Monday's training now say it just isn't enough.
It was a lot of things that we already know to do ourselves. I wish there was more that we can learn to do within the neighborhood. I feel like it's putting the pressure back on us.
For some of the businesses, I think they still feel like they didn't get much out of it, because I think the big problem is that they can't resolve what's happening right in front of their eyes.
Quinn Pham with Friends of Little Saigon says they've done everything they can to try and resolve the homeless encampment concerns and criminal activity. They tried the Find It, Fix It app, calling police, having meetings, bringing in resources outside of SPD.
Why hasn't anything been done, Quinn?
We just want to see some type of response, and we haven't heard it from the city just yet.
We asked Seattle City Council and the mayor what they are doing about the growing encampment on South Weller Street. A spokesperson offered this response. This site is on the list for resolution and is a priority for the city to address. This year, the city's HOPE team has made 85 referrals to shelter from encampments in this general area.
And I was like, well, they're not going to attack me, are they? And then they came charging after me, and that's when I was like, holy oh my God. And then all I could think was, I need to get up. I got to save my life. I have kids, and I got to live.
New at 6 and only on KOMO, a woman attacked by 2 dogs in Seattle's Eastlake neighborhood is speaking out from her hospital bed. She wants people to know what happened and who helped save her life.
It's a harrowing story, and tonight KOMO's Jackie Kent asked the Seattle Animal Shelter why they didn't immediately seize those dogs and instead gave them back to their owner. She's live in Eastlake with the update tonight. Jackie?
Yeah, I spoke with the victim, Amy Craven, today from her hospital bed at Harborview. She's preparing to go into her second surgery for severe injuries to her left leg. Now, we do have images of that attack. It happened just down the street from here on Friday, and we do want to warn you, some people may consider those images to be disturbing.
The one dog had my leg, and then I got taken to the ground, and all I could think was, I need to get up. I got to save my life. I have kids.
Amy Craven says her 11-year-old daughter and 6-year-old son were top of mind when she was attacked by 2 dogs in Eastlake.
I love them so much. I was like, I can't die.
Surveillance footage from the nearby Union Marine shows the incident Friday around 10:30 a.m. near Good Turn Park. Today, while in tears in her Harborview hospital bed, she says she was on a walk just a few blocks from home when she saw the dogs charging right at her.
I could just see my legs being torn apart. My calf is pretty much gone.
Tonight, she's crediting employees from Union Marine with saving her life, including this man she says threw hammers at the dogs.
I know that he grabbed me and pulled me into the Lake Union Marine, and everyone who worked there came out to help, and they had me on the ground, and one person put a tourniquet on my leg.
Craven's family reportedly begged Seattle Animal Control all weekend to take the 2 pit bull mixes off the street. This after hearing they were given back to the owner to quarantine for 10 days. The city today tells us the dog's owner lives in a box truck.
Because we were demanding answers. I called them and I was like, how can you quarantine 2 pit bulls in a car? And they were like, well, lots of people in Seattle live in their car.
Tonight, Seattle Animal Shelter in a statement tells us it did a compliance check over the weekend, and the owner agreed it was in the best interest of the dogs to complete the remainder of the dog's quarantine at the shelter.
people are burnt out or they're not concerned about it, for sure.
Developing now as our COVID case count continues to climb, King County is forced to reevaluate its strategy as fewer people are heading to testing sites.
The county is set to close 3 of its testing sites in the southern part of the county in the coming weeks. The Tukwila, Auburn, and Federal Way sites will be shut down.
This comes as new numbers show more and more people are getting sick. The latest numbers from Public Health Seattle-King County show a 9% jump in the daily average cases in the last 7 days compared to the previous week.
KOMO's Nick Popham is live in Federal Way to talk about why people have stopped using those testing sites. Nick?
Well, many of the people that we've talked with are either getting burnt out from the pandemic or have those at-home test kits with them, so they don't feel like it's necessary to go to a testing site like the one behind me here in Federal Way. This site, along with the other 2 that you mentioned in Tukwila and Auburn, are set to close. Those places used to be packed during peaks like Omicron, but now have since. We've only seen few cars trickle in and out throughout the day. It's partly why the county, like so many others, are ready to try to move to the next phase of dealing with this virus. 2 years into this, and some folks are hitting a point of indifference.
At this point, it's all personal preference, right?
Even with cases rising in King County, hospitalizations and deaths are low enough, and the number of people seeking a test are at a point to where the county is ready to put an end to some of its test sites.
I understand why the county wants to save the money. At-home tests are available now.
In a blog post, Public Health Seattle and King County says they're closing this site in Federal Way, along with the one in Auburn and Tukwila, to help transition to long-term solutions. Part of that is because at-home tests are so much easier to get now.
Well, I mean, I would do one at home because I have one already.
This woman we spoke with in Federal Way says she isn't burnt out from the pandemic, but is eager to put it behind her.
I mean, of course, it's not nice. I don't enjoy it, but I don't feel burnt out. I just feel like let's move on.
While this man we talked with says it's gone from a communal effort to someone's own choice on how they handle the virus.
Either people are burnt out or they're not concerned about it, for sure.
Dr. Jeff Duchin with Public Health said Friday that even if people are feeling fatigue, the virus is still something you don't want to catch.
And people still are being hospitalized and still are dying.
He says the last thing people should want is to get infected and potentially suffer long COVID as a result of letting their guard down.
There's a lot of COVID out there. It's increasing. COVID is an unpleasant disease that can lead to long-term consequences in a minority. And there are some of us that are still susceptible to severe illness that we can work together to help prevent.
Hi, everyone. I'm Preston Phillips from KOMO News. Thanks for checking out the KOMO YouTube channel. You can see more of our videos right here by clicking on the video links for more news from the Seattle area and Western Washington. Oh, and don't forget to click the subscribe button below so you don't miss our YouTube updates.